The Intelligent Handset user menus. I'm going to take you through the menus that you usually use in an observing session. The handset is connected to a drive box, so we will power it up. The telescope is currently parked, so we will unpark it. And here you have the normal menu screen. The RA coordinate is stable. That means it's following the star. The time is universal time, which we have to set to Greenwich Mean Time. The king is the king rate, which is what we use for refraction corrected sidereal rate tracking. The telescope move buttons are in the circle, and the effect of the pressing the button is given by the word above the function key in lowercase. Here we are set to slew, but I could change it to guide or center, move and slew. To see the effect of pressing the button, just watch the display. So the coordinate changes to tell you exactly where the telescope is pointing. The M button is the menu button, and that takes you through the top line menus, coordinate, catalogue and list, info, track, event and home, key, bleep, rates, display, RTC, which is the clock, site, set, park, double dots means there are more menu entries, AWR, which is the declination motor sense direction, and HORIZ, the horizon set limit. Moving on, we have sync, which is the normal calibration you do when you synchronize with the star. Back to the main menu. So I'll run that through that again, just with the menu key this time. This is your object menu, the normal menu, the user menu, setup menu, and the calibration menu, and back to the normal menu. I will now describe some of these in more detail. First one is display. This sets up the appearance of the display. You can change the sky coordinates shown, RA and DEC or altitude azimuth. Just press the button and enter, cancel. So there's out and as, ever so easy. Time, universal time and LST. So if I press LST, enter, cancel, cancel, there it is. And it also says it's using site A. So the LST increments, which is what the star is doing, due south. Light is the backlight setting, and you can adjust this between 0 and 15. Around 4 is the level you need in a moonless night. About 8 if the moon is present, and in daylight you need to take it all the way up. Note the word above the function key is what the function key does in that position. Rates. Here we see what the current drive rates are set to when you use guide move or center speeds. Each of those you can adjust. So guide, for instance, I can turn the rate right down, minimum 5% of sidereal, maximum 50%. Apply allows you to apply the rates change, but E enters it for you to make it permanent. The move rate, currently at 32 times, can be as low as 5 times and up to 50 times. And the center rate, we will adjust down 1.5 times, up to 5 times. As I cancelled it, it did not enter the function. Bleep is to do with the key bleeps. You can turn this off if it annoys you, but I find that it helps to know when you've pressed the key in the dark. RTC Setup Clock. There is a fine adjust which allows you to set the time for occultation work within 0.02 seconds. There is an event button on the keypad which will record this. It does time stamping, telescope, position and time. Site. You have 4 sites to choose from. So you can take the telescope round to 4 different locations if you want and have different pre-programmed latitude and longitudes. Note you can enter to 1 arc second, which is not very far. Set park. Well, it told me it's not calibrated, which is fine, but set park allows you to select a home position, which is effectively an altitude and an azimuth where you park the telescope. So local sidereal time is 7 hours, 22 minutes, which means that declination 0 degrees on the eastern horizon is exactly 6 hours ahead of that. So that is 13 hours, 22 minutes. So we can actually calibrate. Knowing that, you can do it with the tube horizontal and do this in the daylight. Sync. 13 hours, 22 minutes. Enter. 0 degrees. Enter. Note there's some flags on the second line of the display. The C means it's calibrated. So that is the explanation of the first set of menus.